But I wanted to just make a video today because I did a video recently about this Fruitarian doctor who died recently. He didn't die from being a Fruitarian, he literally died from dry fasting. And he didn't die from dry fasting, he died from dry fasting too long. So keep that in mind. Some people said, oh, he just needed to eat meat, he would have lived longer. Some other people said, oh, he should have never fasted at all. No. Dry fasting for one day is actually probably very beneficial. I think he was doing 4 days and he was already sick, making the problem worse. But that's the study of something called natural hygiene. It's like just fasting till you're either better or dead. Well, it works for some people, but for the people it didn't work for, they can't really tell us about it. But I live as close to a natural hygiene diet as possible. I never met this person or seen much of his stuff, but apparently a lot of people knew who he was. He was in his 70s. A good friend of mine is Dr. Fred Bishy. Dr. Fred Bishy he just turned 90, and he looks great, and he's proof to me that you can live this type of diet and lifestyle and feel great and be great and look great. And I expressed to him what happened to this other fellow, and he said, the problem was the dry fasting, and to make it worse, he went to the hospital after he was dry fasting. And they just finished off the job because, hospitals are great in certain cases of emergencies, emergency room accidents and things like that. But when you don't want to be fasting around people that don't know how to fast or break a fast, and it'll just make the problem worse and not better. So, but there are a lot of critics, a lot of people interested about, how this person died or why this person died. And a lot of people want to say, oh, you see, this diet doesn't work. This diet doesn't work. It reminds me, somebody told me a story that, I could be walking on the street and fall down and hit my head and die. There's actually not a raw foodist, but a natural hygiene author, Dr. Arnold Ehret, years ago. That's what happened. He fell on the floor and he died. He hit his head. But of course, people say, oh, look, his diet wasn't working. His diet wasn't good. Then on the other hand, there was this fellow named Paul Braggs who lived into his early 90s or 89, and he was surfing. And he died surfing, and some people say, oh, well, he died surfing at 80-something years old, so that's pretty good. Well, what other people might say, well, he actually had a heart attack on the surfing board, so that's not good. So you get all these people looking at other people, looking at people that are dying at certain ages, and they're measuring if that determines if the diet you were eating was good enough or not. And if food was the only factor in our overall health and disease, I would say absolutely that's what we need to look at. Well, how long did that person live? But there are so many other factors when it comes to our health and our longevity other than just our food. So you can't just look at one thing and determine everything on that. Yes, a big part has to be on that. If somebody's getting diabetes, cancer, and all these other illnesses, obviously something is wrong with their diet. But the study of epigenetics now proves that more disease is created from things in our outer environment and the way we view them and the way we deal with them on a regular basis for our whole life than the chemistry on the inside. And this is why you see people that are eating junk food, eating terrible, but they have a happy life, they enjoy what they're doing, and they live a lot more longer than people that are trying to eat healthy and struggling with it. I say it all the time. Health is more than just the food we're eating. Right? So we need to keep that in mind. And some people say, well, pets don't get cancer or the same diseases as humans get unless they eat the same food the humans are eating. And I disagree because pet food isn't any healthier. Now, if you say animals in the wild don't get the same diseases humans get because they're not eating the food we're eating, but they don't under the same stress we're under. They're going to pay the bills. They don't got to deal with the everyday stresses and the car breaking down and going to work and be around people you don't like and all this stuff. So that makes a big difference in people's walks and what's happening and what they're doing and everything else. And I start making a list of all these things that really matter and don't matter when it comes to people's health or not. And we can look at all the people that ever died. Somebody says, well, that person died, his diet must not have been healthy. It's like, the guy was smoking like 7 packs of cigarettes. What do you mean it was his diet, or somebody got shot in a gun battle at a bank robbery. Oh, he died, it was his diet. Because if he was eating a good diet, those bullets wouldn't have killed him. This is the way people think. But there are other factors out there. You know, somebody was in the water, they got bit by a shark, their arm came off. Well, it was their diet, because if they were eating food that the shark didn't like, he wouldn't have bit them. That's what people do. And it's I think the dog liked that joke, right? All right. So, but yeah, so these are just things to consider when you're watching videos. Don't base everything on how long did a person live. Of course, you don't want to see somebody that died at like 25 years old and they were teaching about health and longevity. That's not the wisest thing to do either, right? It's like, oh, this guy died in his 50s. He was a great health teacher. What did he die of? Well, old age in his 50s. So we just gotta not get caught up in the conversation of everything, and just think about, okay, well, what did this person teach that I could resonate with and incorporate in my life that I feel might help me? And what are some things this person teach that not only I feel contributed to his death, but also things that don't resonate with me? And then you could pick those things out that resonate with you and make your own plan for your own life, for your own body, and do it that way. And I find that way to be the most simple. And people don't want to be creative and invent ways for themselves. They want other people to tell them how to do it and what to do and so on. But I mean, I literally see people just doing so much, you know, like things that are against health, but they eat a healthy diet, and vice versa. And it's like, I don't know. The quality of our health is going to be determined by our diet, but other factors as well. And we need to keep that in mind. I have a video called The Formula for Health where I talk about those different things. So here I am, by the way, I'm in my backyard. And this is a cherry tree behind me. I have a miracle fruit right there. I have a bunch of bananas right there. And this one's a mango. And I just put a hammock out here. I slept outside in a hammock for the first time the other night and loved it. I'm going to do that more. And I was going to make a joke saying he died in his hammock, and people are going to say it was his diet, but I don't even want to make that joke, especially with me starting to sleep in a hammock. I take that joke back, all right? But yes, everybody, put your comments and questions below, but just think about life and live every day like live every day to your fullest, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if I like that phrase, because I always tell everybody, if I knew tomorrow was my last day, I'd be eating like terrible today. I wouldn't be caring about what's going to happen to me in 20 or 30 years. But the point is, live every day to its fullest. Meaning, don't waste time doing stuff that's not necessary in life. I guess that might be the point. All right, I'm going to get some exercise. I might mow this lawn here. And next video, I'll show you my garden and how that's growing on. It's growing really well. Until then, everybody, have a great day. Put your comments below. Peace.